we go. We got everybody. I think I do.
Oh, they're cheering.
They're cheering.
For the emergency people.
They're cheering for the emergency people. It's true.
And do you know that happens here in New York at 7 p.m.?
You guys cheer.
They fly for they yell for everybody.
Yeah. Justin's just printing out our Haggadah and then he's gonna bring them in.
Okay, Tyler's here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Tyler.
Tyler, how are you? These are people that are from our Sim Shalom community that are Ellen Friedman is here. Shalom. Shalom. Okay, I'm gonna stop that share. Hi, everybody.
What share are you stopping? Love?
I was sharing the Haggadah.
Oh, I see.
Hey, Lynn, how are you? Miriam is here.
Oh.
So,
Chag
Chag Sameach, everybody. Let me just say. Wait.
Can they see?
Like we can put on the Seder plate.
Can they see us?
They can see everybody.
Oh.
They can see everybody. Let me just close this up a little bit. Hold on.
Let me see what that looks like.
How are you? Good.
Yeah, we try.
So we're gonna start with a little bim bum.
Well, I think we should do a little quick check-in for the emergency workers in New York.
Okay.
Since it's 7 o'clock. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody give a big yay! Thank you, doorman, food delivery people, bus drivers, medical people. Yes, and a healthy healthcare worker, Barbara Kirsch. All right.
Thank you, Barbara.
So listen, they're the greatest blessing. They're all heroes, all these people.
Yeah.
So welcome to our Seder. We're going to start with a little song. Do you know this song?
I don't know. Let's see.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Everybody sing. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Chag Sameach. See how tricky that was? Wait a minute. I swapped out Shabbat Shalom for Chag Sameach. Happy holiday. Chag Sameach. Chag Sameach.
On the other thing, you see.
We've only just begun to. Well, Carol, no, all that they're going to see is what we're seeing on Zoom. They don't see anything
Okay,
else.
so let them know with that.
No, it's actually, it's on Facebook. What you're seeing is all there is. There's no other version. Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach. Okay, so before we begin, let me just address some questions that we have. You know, family members. This is all my family here. There's a lot of them. Boyfriends of my daughters and friends of one of my daughters. One of them is in Boulder, Colorado. That's everybody at Boulder, Colorado. Say hi.
Hi.
There they go. All right. And everybody in Philadelphia, say hi.
Hi.
Okay. Now Stella is with Megan next door, and we're not sure. You know, Stella and Stephen are next door, and my mother and stepfather are watching also. Okay. Another thing, what you see is what you get. There is nothing else on Facebook, on YouTube. It's the same stream. This is the stream. It's through Zoom. It's not my regular.
It's actually not. You can't log in through Zoom. You just log in the same way you always log in. Because these people are looking for a Zoom link. There's no link for you all to join us.
That's true.
Zoom.
I see. It would be too confusing for me to bring everybody in to our family Seder, which I'd love to have you, but it's good. You know, I need to communicate just with my family, and you guys are just chatting. You can chat with me. There you go.
Always.
Okay, anyway, so good. Chag Sameach, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to start with our Seder by sharing. I'm going to share our Haggadah. We have a lovely one. This is a picture from a very early Haggadah. A Haggadah is literally a book of the story of Passover. And the earliest ones date from about the 14th century, the mid 14th century. So you can read along with me. I hope you can see the Seder. Welcome to our Seder. Tonight we observe a festival which are people has celebrated for 2,000 years. Let me explain how this works. Here, the history of our people reaches back 4,000 years. If some of you are probably familiar with the Old Testament, and luckily for me, my wife has got the audio on, so I can hear myself again. So that works out good. 4,000 years ago was approximately, 3,000 years ago, they believe was when the let me talk to you like a human being. About 3,000, 3,500 years ago, they think that the 5 books of Moses was put together. There's a tradition in the Jewish tradition that members of the most observant community believe, and conservative, believe that literally the 5 books of Moses were the 5 books of the Torah were dictated to Moses, and he wrote it all down. That is the tradition and that's why all of the words of the Torah are so holy. And then there is another more progressive version which says that the books were kind of strewn together, by men, not women, by men. Okay. All right. So let me go back. So I wanted to explain that. If there's any questions as I move through this, I hope you will ask me. All right. Okay. Back to sharing this. So anyway, about 2,000 years ago or before, the rabbis wanted, because the event of the Exodus, of going out from the Pharaoh and Egypt, was such a seminal event in the Jewish world, the rabbis decided that it would be a good idea to tell the story every year, especially since in the Torah, in the 3,000 plus year old text that we have, it says that we must observe a Passover to the Lord. And part of that is to remember the Exodus. So the rabbis decided the thing to do would be to create a text, a Haggadah, that would allow people to follow along. All right, so that's it for my explanation. Now let me tell you, we're going to light the candles. Yeah, here we go. We're going to light the. We typically do. We light candles on the Sabbath. We light candles on the festival. All right. Can you see the candles? All right. And here we go. Repeat after me. Baruch.
Baruch.
Atah. Adonai. Eloheinu. Melech. Now we can tell the Jews from the non. Melech. Melech. Ha'olam. I'm not going to make it crazy with all Hebrew. Asher. Kidshanu. B'mitzvotav. Vitzivanu. Lahadlik. Ner. Shel. Yom Tov. It's very good. You're all Jews now. Thank you very much. You're welcome to the club. So basically the translation is, blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who makes us holy with your commandments and has commanded us to light the festival lights. We also have another blessing here. I'm going to share it with you. Share screen. You can do. I'll go a little faster with you, but it's the Shehechianu. It's a blessing of thanksgiving. When Jews have a good thing, whatever it is, doesn't matter. A baby is born, a bar mitzvah, a wedding, a shmedding. This blessing, you will always hear it. God willing, you'll all get married, right? Eventually, to whoever. And we're going to say this blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. These are 4 fun words. Say, Shehechianu. V'kiyamanu. V'higiyanu. Hazman. Hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord our God, creator of the universe, for allowing us to join together for a Zoom Seder. It doesn't actually translate to that, but I'm reinterpreting it for the age of the pandemic. All right, so now we have our candles. We're going to move right along in our Seder. We're now going to talk about the order of the Seder. I'm going to share the Haggadah with you right now. Please join with me as I share this. Sing with me. It's called Hey Jews. Hey Jews, don't be afraid. We were made to escape Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim means Egypt. In Sinai, the Lord will help you to live, and then he will give you all some Mayim. Mayim means water. Okay? Hey Jews, it's time to start. God will part all the Red Sea waters. Remember, the miracle was right. They went across the Red Sea and they weren't drowned. Remember, pack matzah and you will break. God's gonna save your son, daughter. And he will give you all some Mayim, 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 ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Hey Jews. Okay, it's enough of that one. Let's do this one. The order of the Seder. How many of you have been to Disney World? Remember, it's a small world. Here we go. We wash our hands and we bless the wine. We do the salt water dippings, oh so fine. There's so much that we see, celebrating we're free. It's our Passover Seder. It's our Passover. It's our Passover. It's our Passover Seder. It's our Passover Seder. We break the matzah for questions are asked. We tell the story about our past. The motzi is the blessing. The motzi we say because that is the way of our Passover Seder. Everybody add. It's our Passover Seder. It's our Passover Seder. It's our Passover Seder. It's our Passover Seder. Okay, so let me explain what that was. Look, just look with me. The rabbis, in order to be able, so people could follow along, the sages I'm talking about in the Common Era, 100, 200, 300. Actually, remember Jesus, if you're not Jewish, Jesus had a Seder, except it wasn't about blood or anything. It was a Seder. It was a Seder. But there was an order to the Seder that evolved post Jesus so that the regular people could sort of remember how to do it. So there was an order to the Seder. This song makes a lot of sense. The order consists of 12 steps. And here they are. First thing is, we make Kiddush. Kadesh was the first one, but you left that out. We saying blessing the meal, which is what we just did, right? Blessing the evening. We lit the candles. We wash our hands, which I'm going to do in a moment. We just wash our hands. We bless the wine. That's the third step. We put greens in salt water. That's the next step. We break the matzah. We ask for questions. We tell the story. We say the blessing over matzah. And then there's a couple of other steps, but those are the main ones. So you understand that is the order of the Seder. That's what Jews have been doing for thousands of years. Thousands of years we've been doing this. But we've been singing that song too, before Walt Disney even came up with it. That's the song. No, what? What are you gonna ask me?
No, nothing. I just said, that's hard to read. I can't.
I know, but c'est la vie. It's the way it is. There's
Okay.
nothing I can do
All
about that.
right.
But thank you for your feedback, darling. Let me see. Anybody else have any questions? Let me see. Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach. Beatles, Passover, love it.
Yeah, I've been talking to everybody.
Oh, you've been talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Good. Well, you could just talk and they'll hear you. You don't have to chat with them, but that's all right.
Oh, yeah, well, you're
If
talking.
you
I know,
talk,
but you're talking.
but that never
Hi,
stopped you
Rabbi,
before.
Laura. Hi, Roland. Hanson.
Everybody. All right, moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna
Miriam.
we're gonna-
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna make our
Thank you.
we're gonna say the blessing over the first cup of wine. Now remember, traditionally we're supposed to have 4 cups of wine.
4 cups of wine.
All right. There's a reason for 4, but mostly it's for young people to get a buzz. Outside of no, but it's really, it has a significance. Here we go. I'm going to do the blessing over the wine. I'm going to share this with you. All right. Here we
Hi,
go.
Barbara Levine and Audrey Fox.
Read with me. Baruch. Atah. Adonai.
Adonai,
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu,
Melech
Melech,
haolam.
Ha'olam,
Borei.
Borei,
Bari.
Pari,
Hagafen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, creator of the fruit of the vine. I should explain also that Jews have a tradition of sanctifying all events, even the Sabbath. And the way they do that is with wine. Again, it has clearly a very different meaning in other faiths. But for us, it's simply a sanctification. That's it. All right, now you take a sip. Go ahead. You're actually supposed to drink the whole thing, but I don't want you to get drunk before we're done. All right. All right. Good. Now we're in the next step of the order of the Seder. Right. The next step. We're up to that. We're proceeding with the chronologically through the steps of the Seder. So the next thing is called karpas. All right.
Dana, what are you doing? Taking pictures?
Yeah.
She's trying to remember.
She's
trying to
standing up on the sofa.
she's okay. All right. So read. You can see with me. It's spring. It's spring. The air is growing warmer. The corona is dissipating, God willing. The trees are budding. Flowers are blooming. And a Passover is a springtime holiday. It's true. It's in antiquity. Passover was also a time when the Israelites would journey to Jerusalem and order sacrifice and make sacrifice to God. And by the way, this might be a good time to, while I'm here, before we take the karpas, let me show you the meaning, the significance of the things, the items on the
Seder plate.
Seder plate. First thing is we have this brown stuff.
You can't see it.
You can't. I know you can't see it.
let's move these.
All right, move that. I'll try and tip it. Here, there we go. All right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this brown stuff is called charoset, and it's symbolic of the mortar that went in the bricks when the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt. That's why it's done. Now you can get all kinds of different stuff. This one, I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. We're very unhappy. We tasted it, but there are different recipes for it, and it can be whatever you want. Rebecca, I'm sure Rebecca's is going to be awesome. And Eve, did you make your own?
yeah,
Can I have?
Eve
Can we
made
have
her
some,
own.
please? Could we need it desperately? All right,
Right, Rebecca, did you make your own?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
excellent. All right, that's the first thing. We then have. Let me see. We have a beets. That is symbolic. You're supposed to have, instead of a beet, because we're pescatarian, and some of you are vegetarian. So it would be disgusting to have a shank bone on your plate. But that's what Jews have been doing for 2,000 years. They
The
literally.
shank bone is a bone from a lamb. It's like the Paschal lamb, like they do for Easter too.
Right, except we don't do it for Easter, we do it for Passover.
Right.
But and it's supposed to be on there. It's symbolic, of course, of they slaughtered the lamb and they put the blood on the lintel of houses, so that angel would know that not to kill the firstborn in that house.
And so the plate would pass over like we're waiting for this one to pass.
We're totally waiting for. We're so
Yeah.
tired of this plague.
Yeah.
This is a brutal. All right,
Yeah.
so that's that. The egg is symbolic. The Israelites were to get, like I said, this is a spring pilgrimage festival. You know, like you know how the Muslims make Hajj to Saudi Arabia to see the rock. Israelites would make pilgrimage also twice a year to Jerusalem, and they would bring an animal, or they'd buy an animal, and it would be slaughtered in the Holy Temple. That's what the egg is symbolic of. Okay, we have a bitter herb, which is this is a green vegetable, and this is symbolic of the spring, which is what we were just reading. All right, we have this is a bitter herb. It's supposed to be parsley, but we couldn't get any because the deliveries are not that good. So we have arugula.
Hey, North Carolina, welcome, Eugenia.
Eugenia, welcome. It's good to see you. Okay. So what else? Did I miss anything? No, that's pretty much it. Now, some people have an orange. That's a modern invent. What was this orange symbolic of? It's a feminist kind of a thing.
I have orange.
Yeah, something about
What does it mean?
women will have the rights to do any. Oh, you know what it means? I'm sorry. What?
No, I said, Mom, don't put me on the spot.
Rebecca, do you remember what it means?
No.
So basically, what it means is that a rabbi said that women would become rabbis when there was an orange on the Seder plate.
There you
So
go.
there you go.
There you go. All right. All right. So now we're going to do the blessing over. Get a green vegetable. Get ready to eat it. All right. And we're going to dip it in salt water. Do you have salt?
That's your hand wash.
That's my hand wash. Is it okay if I don't dip it in the hand wash?
Pass over the hand wash.
We did. We passed over the.
Wait a
Yeah.
second.
I'll need it again, maybe. Leave it
Okay,
here.
here's the salt water.
Salt water's coming. All right. And here, I'm going to share this with you. Do the blessing with me. Here we go.
There you go.
Sharing. Here's the blessing. It's on the bottom of this page. See, page 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'adama. All right, take a little bit of the green vegetable, dip it in the salt water. You can read the explanation. We dip the green vegetable in the salt water because tears taste salty. We remember the tears our people cried in Egypt when they were slaves.
Joyce Garrett rings the bell. You just tears before you said it. Hey, Brian.
All right.
And Smiley. Hello. Peace to you too.
Okay, I'm gonna keep this screen up here because now we're on the Afik Homan. This is the time when you take 3 matzahs. We have 3 matzahs, Bear?
Right
Wait,
here. Unless you want to use those.
no, it's all right.
Okay.
We have 3 matzahs.
Yep.
Well, wait a minute. Let me put this one in the middle. I want to explain this to them.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop sharing first. Here's the thing. The centerpiece of Passover, right, is
Vincent, William, whoever you are, please leave our Seder. Thank you. Okay. keep
Nice.
going.
well, so I can get rid of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, delete.
I know how to do that.
Thank you.
Oh. Goodbye. So
Okay,
long.
great.
And you can do that.
Okay.
All right. So because the Israelites, the ancient Israelites, didn't have a lot of time to escape. Because what happened is the Pharaoh let him go, and they said, you know what? Let me get him back. Yeah, it wasn't a good idea. So he ran after them with his army. But the bottom line is they didn't have time to let bread rise. So that's the sort of unleavened bread. It's bread that doesn't take the time for the yeast to kick in and to make it bread. That's all. This matzah, there's 2 kinds of matzah I'm going to show you. This is the regular matzah you can get it free if you buy $50 worth of, at least in the old days. Coronavirus time, it's not been the same. But this is regular matzah. It's square. And it's made months before, it's stuck in a box, and it stays good, and it's okay, and it's kosher. How is it kosher? It has not had time. The dough has not had time to become leavened. It's not had time to raise to the yeast to kick in or anything like that. It's under 18 minutes before it's cooked. This is, like I said, almost free, $3 a box, $4, except in my life, coronavirus time, it was like $8 a box. There you go. Here, this is also matzah. This is called shemura matzah. This means that this matzah has been watched since it was since it was planted in the field. There was a guy with a long beard that's been watching this whole process. Not like, yeah, kind of like Tom, longer. It was a longer beard than Tom, and he was hanging out watching the whole process. They can see. They totally have a window of everybody.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like everybody.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
what I was saying, my wife.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm used to it. 34 years.
Oh, look, there's Lynn Lisa.
Lynn Lisa.
She came
Lynn
to one
Lisa.
of our Seder.
All right, wait a minute. All right,
Okay.
don't confuse me.
He's been watching it since the wheat was in the field, Dad.
The wheat is in the field. So this is shemura matzah. It has a higher level of being watched so that it's still kosher. They're equal, but this is a higher level of observance. This makes Jews feel better, like it's even more, even a better observance of the mitzvah. And that's there's a term for it. I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, this, you get a box of this, it's like 30 or 35 bucks. It's like gold matzah. Okay, right. All right. Anyway, I'm going back to the afikomen. You all understand? Okay, I'm sharing now the desktop. Here again, sharing this. Now the afikomen, there are 3 matzot under the cloth of a matzah plate. So take a cloth, take 3 of them if you got, or just cut it in 3. And we take half of the middle matzah to be the afikomen, which means dessert. We will hide the afikomen and save the other half for blessings later in the Seder service. So what am I talking about here? The bottom line is this was a little game devised by the rabbis, because as you can see, it can be hard to maintain the attention of everybody throughout a whole Seder. So this was a gimmick. You would hide, the leader or someone would hide the middle matzah, and later all the children would go looking for it. And whoever found it would get a nickel or a dime or $1 or $5 or $50. We're probably up to $630 at this point. That's the way it worked. So, but we have a tradition. We have a tradition of raising the matzot, right, on the plates. It's now covered, right? You raise it up, and you're going to say with me in English, everybody. This is the bread of suffering. Can you see it? Everybody see it? Right? You all there?
Yeah.
Okay. Got quiet. Are you sleeping? Don't sleep now. All right. I'm almost done. Just not that long. This is the bread of suffering, which our people ate when they were slaves in Egypt. We invite all who are hungry to join us. We pray that all who are slaves be free. All right. Now I don't have to illuminate for you how this is the new time of suffering, and this is a new slavery. We all are enslaved to this horrible pandemic, and we've got a goal that when we come through this, we're going to all be better. Somehow we're going to appreciate the things that we didn't appreciate before. That's the new Passover. All right. Anyway, so speaking about the afikomen, let me share this with you. Here we're going to sing a song. It's about time. Everybody get ready to sing with me. Here we go. Sharing. Here we go. My dad at every Seder breaks. So this is glory, glory, hallelujah. Ready? Here we go. My dad at every Seder breaks the matzah piece in 2 and hides the afikomen a game for me and you. Find it with ransom, for the Seder isn't through till the Afikomen's gone. Everybody, don't sit on the Afikomen. Don't sit on the Afikomen. For the meal will last all night. 1 year my daddy hid it beneath a pillow on a chair, but just as I raced over, she threw herself upon it, crunching filled the air, and some fruits all around. Everybody, don't sit on the woman, don't sit on the don't listen the Afikomen, for the meal last all night. There were matzah all over. Oh, it was a messy sight. We swept up all the pieces, though it was last night. So if you want to stay ready, turn them on the lights. Don't sit on the Afikomen. Don't sit on the Afikomen. Don't sit on the Afikomen. Don't sit on the Afikomen, or the meal will last all night. Applause is good. Applause is good, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Listen, so guess what? Now we're at the point where we're going to ask. It's called for older Jews. It's the fear kashas. It's like my grandfather, maybe Lillian and Isaac, remember the fear kashas, the 4 questions, that's Yiddish. The 4 questions. What 4 questions? Well, like I said, we have 4 cups of wine. We also have 4 questions. You notice in the Jewish tradition, if you don't know, we have 4 matriarchs. There are 4 seasons. There's 4. Matriarchs are, the progenitors of the Jewish tradition are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, guess what? They were all married. One of them was crazy enough to get married twice. So there you go. That's the story about the matriarchs.
The matriarchs are the mothers. They're the women.
Well, if I said they were married to them, what would you think they were?
I'm just letting you know.
There you go. All right. So now we're going to do the 4 questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put it before you, and I'm going to ask my youngest daughter to do them.
I thought Stella was gonna do them.
Megan, you want to do them? Come on, share the. Here we go. Megan's going to do them. Come here, Megan.
Yeah.
You got to be on it.
I've got it right
I
here.
can't. No.
I've got it right here.
All right.
Hold on. Let me just get her on the hook.
Megan, get in the screen. Stop.
Here we go.
Do them.
Pages of
I don't know.
on the hook.
I don't know. Okay. Manishtana.
Wait.
Okay, he's doing it. Manishtana. Go ahead, Eve. Because.
That's way too high for me.
Sing it loud.
It's
Too high?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me start.
All right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shebachol Hallelujah. Anu Achim. Tameitzu matzah. Tameitzu matzah. Halayla hazeh. Halayla hazeh. Kula matzah. Halayla hazeh. Halayla hazeh. Kula matzah. Shebachol Hallelujah. Sounded good. Halayla. I don't hear you, Rebecca. Shebachol. Afilu pa'am echad. Halayla. Hey. Halayla hazeh. The last question. Shebachol. Yoshvin. Vein Yoshvinu, Vein Misubin. Halayla hazeh. Anu Misubin. Halayla hazeh. Halayla hazeh. Kulanu Misubin. Let's have a hand for everybody. All the beautiful people that sang the 4 questions. And my daughter Megan, my lovely daughter here. Thank God we're all together for Passover. You have no idea with her and my son-in-law and my granddaughter and even my wife. It just makes it so beautiful. Okay. All right. So let me tell you what the 4 questions are. Again, I'm explaining to you why Jews do what they do. I can never explain that in depth, but I can explain this to you. 4 questions. I was saying 4 is an important number in our culture, in our religion. So the rabbis came up with 4 questions in order to frame how to explain Passover to upcoming generations. That's all. So we just asked, number 1, why is this night different than all other nights? I mean, we're eating matzah, right? Why on all other nights we eat leavened bread, regular bread, except wonder, it's very bad for you, and unleavened bread. Why on this night do we eat only unleavened bread? That's the question, right? And why is this night different? That was the first. This is the second. Next one. On all other nights we eat all kinds of herbs. Why tonight do we just eat bitter herbs? That's the third question, right? 4th question. On all other nights, we do not usually dip our foods, even we're going to be dipping the vegetables in salt water. Why do we do it twice? And here's the 5th question. I made a mistake. This is the 4th question officially. On all other nights, we eat while sitting up straight, like this, or reclining, like this. You get indigestion and it's heartburn. But tonight, you're supposed to, when you eat on Passover tonight, you're supposed to eat like this. This is not the outer limits. Jews are supposed to eat reclining. Leaning to the left. Depends on your political orientation. If you're a lefty, you lean to the left. If you're a righty, you go right. No, it's usually left. And why is this? I'm going to leave it out there. I can answer it for you, but then it wouldn't be fun. We're now going to learn the story of Passover and the answer to everybody's questions. Please join with me in the song, The Passover Story, that I wrote a few years ago. That is still the definitive explanation for the definitive description of the story. Sorry. Here we go, everybody. This is sung to We've Been Working on the Railroad. We've been working on the pyramid all the live long day. These are the Jews, by the way. We've been working on the pyramid for every little day. Pharaoh's really cruel. Lord, can you hear our plea? What we need is a Seder to set our people free. Hey, Tom or Trent, can you be Moses?
Go ahead.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Moses is my name. Go ahead.
Is it to the same tune?
Yeah, Moses is my name. Shepherding is my game.
But I saw a burning bush. More in the flame. Hashem called out my name, and that's when I burned my tush.
Excellent. The Lord said to go
to Egypt and get his people
free.
So that's where I'm going with the banjo
on my knee. Very good. Let's hear it for Tom. Yay! Who's going to be Pharaoh? Anybody want to be Pharaoh? Carol, you want to be Pharaoh?
No, thank you.
All right. Trent, can you be Pharaoh? You have got to be kidding. Here we go. You. All right, Rebecca, can you do it?
We're doing it. Yeah, Trent and I will do it together.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. You.
Got to be kidding. Why should I set the Jews free? They last and last and last for hours, like a Duracell battery. Even through all the plagues, I still really need my juice so much. Oh, well, go ahead and mow this, but don't be in such a rush.
Very good. Everybody's so Farrell, let us go. Farrell, let us go. We headed right into the sand, but it took us 4 years and lots of sweat and tears to get to this land. Fee, fi, Lily-I-O. Fee, fi, Lily-I-O. Fee, fi, Lily-I-O. Strumming on Moses' ukulele. Everybody. I am going to stay here to remember what God did. I am going to stay here and flow and will sin. They will hide the Afikomen, but I will find it easily. I will just ask Eliyahu to search the house with me. Let me explain that. Eliyahu is Elijah the prophet. He's going to stop by in a few minutes and drink some wine. Oh, like the good book said, don't eat any bread. Passover's our legacy. Don't eat any bread. Eat matzah instead. And remember how God set us free. Everybody, oh, feet. 5, Philly-I-O, P5, Philly-I-O, P5, Philly-I-O, strumming on Moses' ukulele. And that, my friends, is the true story of Passover. It is. All right. So we could read a little bit, but time is short and we have much to do. Remember again, the 4, let me just show you this. In the Haggadah, in a traditional Haggadah, in order to explain the story to people, the sages put together in the story the idea of 4 children to how would children of different styles of children experience the story of Passover. So it breaks it down into wise children, wicked children, not that there's any such thing except my kids, simple children, and children who don't know how to ask. So it breaks it down into kind of categories of kids. All right. And there's a long story here. What we're going to do now is we're going to, you see this page here? It says blood, frogs, lice. And we're going to now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to share, we're going to experience the plagues together. Not that we need another one, but this is symbolic. This is what the supposedly the Egyptians experienced in ancient Egypt. There were these 10 plagues. So there's a tradition. What Jews do is you take a little plate, you take a little wine in your glass, right? You dip your little finger in the wine like that, and every time you say a plague, you just drop, you cast it into the plate. Now the symbolism of this is I don't have a clue. However, if anybody would like to share that, anybody online wants to share it, I'm thrilled. I'm sure there are explanations, but this is what we do. So I'm going to put this in front of you. No, just say it after me. And I'm going to say the Hebrew word and the English word. You take your finger and drop the plague, right? Okay, the first one is dam, blood.
Dam.
Yeah, you can say it. That was good, Evie. Everybody, I'm going to say dam, blood. You say
Dam, blood.
Blood.
Okay. Siphardea, frogs.
Siphardea, frog.
Frogs.
Kinim, lice.
Kini, lice.
Nice.
Arov, insects.
Arov,
Insects.
Dever, cattle disease.
Dever, cattle disease.
Shechin, boils.
Shaheen,
Boils.
Boils.
Barad, hail.
Barad,
Hail.
Hail.
Arbe, locusts.
Arbed, locust,
Locusts.
Choshech, darkness.
Hoshet,
darkness.
Darkness.
And the final one, the most horrific one, was Makat Bechorot, the killing of the firstborn.
Makat,
Killing of
The firstborn.
So here's the thing. These are the plagues that are outlined in the books of Moses, that are outlined in Exodus. That this is Moses and God were trying to get the Israelites free, and they piled on these plagues. And the Pharaoh at certain points he said, all right, maybe I will, and then his heart got hardened. And there are allusions to this even in present day, where sometimes our leaders think that we'll do something good, and then they screw it up. So this process is not in any way wrong. It's very human. It's very human. And if you think about the process of the way the chronology of these plagues, which again, I'm going to share it with you just so you see it for a moment. It's fascinating. There are, even though it's outlined this way in the Torah, that this is the order in which they occurred. There are those who have come up with a way that this works even according to science. In other words, the idea being that, let's imagine that there was an environmental event in the waters around Egypt that turned the water red, or that made the water poisonous, like a red tide. And then the next thing would be, well, what would happen then? The frogs would die and they would jump out of the water. And then what would happen? The lice would come and eat the frogs. And insects would come more. And then there'd be a disease of cattle because the insects would attack the cattle. And then there would be boils on humans because they would be eating the cattle. And then there would be hail that would fall down, fiery hail. And then there would be locusts that would, if you think about it, it is fascinating that even though this is biblical, there's possibilities here. It's not like, it doesn't have to be a fairy tale, right? And certainly Jews don't think of it as a fairy tale. They think that this is the real deal. All right, so a song. Ilu Hotzi Hotzianu. Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim Dayenu. I'm going to share it with you. Sing with me. It's a wonderful song. It's very Jewish. If you can do this, you can do anything. Ilu Hotzi Hotzianu, Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim Dayenu. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Ilu natan lanu et Shabbat, natan lanu et Shabbat, dayenu, 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 dayenu. Hey, Lunatan lanu et Torah, natan lanu et Torah, dayenu, 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 dayenu. How was that, huh? So you read the, thank you very much, applause, thank you. If you want to tip me, it's okay too, Venmo,
They're all
PayPal.
clapping too.
No, So this is and you read maybe it had God only. This is the idea that God is so great, and this miracle was so great. That would even been enough. Even if God just took us out of Egypt, that would be enough for us. We're in. We're with you, God. It's good. But then God did even more. He gave us the Sabbath, which is Saturday for us, a day of rest when we're not supposed to work. We're supposed to just enjoy it and be with family and people that we like. People you don't like, you don't have to go with on the Sabbath. I give you the permission.
No.
And the last thing is, even if God gave us the Torah, just if that's all that God did, that would have been enough. So that's what this song is all about. All right, moving along, ladies and gentlemen, the second cup of wine. Everybody lift up your wine. Say the blessing with me. Baruch.
Baruch.
Atah.
Atah.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu.
Melech.
Melech.
Ha'olam.
Haolam.
Borei.
Borei.
Bari.
Bari.
Agafen.
Agafen.
Amen. Take a sip. Yeah, we'll take a drink. You can do the whole thing. It's the apocalypse. Enjoy. All right. Now we're coming up to with more of the orders of the Seder, more of the orders. So what we're going to do is now we're going to 3 more Pesach matzah. No, take a piece of matzah. All right, and dip it in the maror, which is the horseradish, right? Very good. All right, get ready. And
Don't eat it yet.
don't eat it yet. I have to say something. All right. Rabbi Gamliel said, "We have not fulfilled our duty until we have explained these 3 symbols: Passover, Pesach, matzah, and moror." Well, I explained Pesach before. It's the shank bone. That is the Paschal lamb. That's the Pesach, right? Matzah I explained to you before why we do it and what we do. Let's say the blessing over the matzah while we're holding it. Baruch.
Baruch.
Atah. Adonai.
Adonai.
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu.
Melech.
Melech.
Ha'olam.
Haolam.
Asher.
Asher.
Share.
Kiddushanu.
Kiddushanu.
B'mitzvotav.
B'mitzvotav.
Al. Achilat.
Hachilat.
Matzah.
Matzah.
Okay. All right. Everybody take a bite.
Hey, Justin.
That's not bad. We got the white. We got the white also. All right, we don't need the white. So we have, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 different kinds of horseradish. There is unleaded and there is high test. The unleaded is, and premium. The unleaded is got beet juice in it.
This person wants to be reminded what the shank bone mean again.
The shank bone is the Paschal lamb. It's symbolic of the sacrifice from which they took the blood of the lamb and put it on the lintels of the houses, so that the angel of death would not take the people in that house, the firstborns in that
Pass over
house.
that. Would
Right.
pass over that house. That's pass.
Yeah.
Right?
This is the Junior Rebbitzin here. This is charoset also. This is horseradish, but this is full. This is the full. Here, let me have a little. I'm going to tell you how good this is. Let's see. If any of you have the white, it's stronger than the beet juice one. And
Yeah.
Jews like that. Oh, whoa!
You're really spicy?
Yeah, this is good.
Oh, good. I like it.
This is good. All right.
You got the good matzah?
All right. All right. All right. Listen. So here's the deal. Because we're going to have the meal shortly, and then there's a whole portion of the Seder that occurs after you eat the meal. In other words, that's why some Seders go on for hours and hours, because it's conversation, you're having fun, you're talking, and then there's always somebody in the crowd who knows everything and they want to go deeper, and then there's a debate, and sometimes, God forbid, it gets political, especially today. But in the old days, you could. a little bit. And it would go for hours. And of course, this Seder I'm doing with you is greatly abbreviated and fun. Not that a regular traditional Seder isn't fun, but many people who go who are not Jewish, or it's their first time going even as Jews to a traditional Seder, never go back again because it's so long and they have to wait so long to eat. It's not a judgment, it's truth. All right. So
And already Ellen and I were getting hungry. Ellen Rose is hungry.
I know you're getting.
But wait, I gotta just say, Brian says we need some anti-COVID-19 Paschal blood.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, because technically I'd like to end very shortly in a few minutes. I just want to do a couple other things with you, all right, that we haven't had a chance to do. We're not going to say the blessing after the meals. We've eaten the. Let's take a little piece of matzah with charoset and the bitter herb and the mortar. All right, let's do that. All right, and there. Let me have some of that, please. That's the. Can I have the?
Go in the.
All right. Here we go. All right. Probably al achilat maror. I said it for you. Everybody, look how beautiful that is. Is that beautiful? Yum, yum, yum. Try not to drop it on my computer. Everybody, here we go.
You can put some. Okay.
Good. All right.
Sound pretty good, Dad.
This isn't bad, actually. All right. Let's get in our third cup of wine. All right. So in other words, I want to be clear. We're doing the Seder before we eat, because I know we were going to stop the Seder and we're all going to eat. So, but I want you to know that I know that's not the traditional. I don't want people to chat with me. Wait a minute. You can't do that. I know. Okay. All right. So third cup. Baruch. Atah. Adonai. Eloheinu. Melech. Ha'olam. Borei. Peri. Hagafen. Sure, that's the third cup. All right, now we're gonna bring in Elijah the prophet. Now, the prophet, we have a tradition. Let me explain. Take me 10 seconds. There's a tradition for the Jews that you understand that 2 ancient temples were destroyed, right? The traditional Jewish community believes that the temple will be rebuilt, and that will be the messianic redemption. We believe in a Messiah. That's the big difference between us and Christians. Christians believe that Jesus got up and he's the Messiah. Jews don't believe that. They're waiting for a Messiah. All right. So literally, and when this Messiah comes, things will be better. God only knows. Maybe this is it. Maybe someone will show up. I wouldn't be adverse to that at this point. What are you saying? I'm trying to concentrate.
I'm sorry. I'm saying hello to folks.
Oh, all right. Okay. So again, so traditional Judaism, the idea of a messianic time, the Messiah coming literally, figuratively. So, but heralding before the Messiah will come, Elijah will show up and announce the coming of the Messiah. So for that, every year at Passover, we welcome Elijah into our homes because we're hoping that this will be the time. The story is, and again, this is for kids, that Elijah goes everywhere and he's going to have a sip of wine. He's going to have a sip of wine, and he's going to, and he goes to all the Jewish homes around the world. I guess he'd go to a Christian home if he got a wine for him. Why not? But he goes to Jewish homes, and he's going to have a little sip of wine. And what you do with kids is you make it jiggle. Yeah. But you're not kids, are you? So we're just going to raise this idea. Progressive Jews aren't waiting for a Messiah. Progressive Jews are latching onto the idea that every day is the day of our redemption,
Joy.
and we have to work towards making things better. I have to admit I'm in that camp too, because look at our time right now. We've got a big job ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we're going to sing this song. It's called Eliyahu Hanavi, and hold it up and let Elijah come and have a sippy. Okay, he's going to have a sippy. Don't get in his way. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi. Oh, let me share it. Let me share it. Here's the song. Here's the song. You have to sing it. It's a very popular Jewish song. The dirge. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. One more time. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. And you can read with me, look, Elijah the prophet, Elijah the Tishbite, that was his tribe. Elijah the Gileadite, I guess he had multiple tribes. May he come soon and bring the Messiah. It's tradition says that the Messiah is linked genealogically to the son of David, to David, to King David. All right, now we're going to sing another song. Who knows one? I know one. One is Hashem. Oh, wait a minute, it says 13. No, we can't do that one. Let's do Chad Gad Yah in the middle of the page. Chad Gad Yah, those 3 lines. Chad Gad Yah, Chad Gad Yah. My father bought for 2 Jews. Chad Gad Yah, Chad Gad Yah. It's a good song, right? Okay, we won't do that. Let me stop that. Hold on. We're getting to the let's do the 4th cup of wine, ladies and gentlemen. 4th cup of wine. Ready? Repeat with me. Say after me. Baruch.
Baruch.
Ta.
Atah.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu.
Melech.
Melech.
The last time to get the cha. Melech.
Melech.
Ha'olam.
Ha'olam.
Borei.
Borei.
Pari.
Pari.
Hagafen.
Hagafen.
That's your 4th cup of wine. All right. Now I'm just about ready to wrap it up. Let me see. Is anybody? I see Michael Albert would like us to sing a little Diana. We will do that for you to conclude. Is anybody here have any questions that I missed? I know I missed a lot, but I'm happy to answer any questions or anything that I didn't do that you would like me to do.
Let me see if there's anything on the open chat.
Okay.
Tell them that there's a number of chats and we're sorry for missing people.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the Sim Shalom website. I'm sorry. I'm only looking at the aggregate of all the Facebook feeds. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Really briefly, like a 2-minute summary other than the song?
A 2-minute summary of what? The story of Passover?
Or of Moses and the story.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, first of all, I would say watch the Charlton Heston movie from 1956. That's going to do better than me. But the bottom line is this: the Israelites were riding high. Joseph was the viceroy of Egypt at a certain point in the Torah, and he became a big deal. But then hundreds of years went by, and the Pharaoh. You could look at politics today. It took a couple hundred years, and the Egyptians turned on the Israelites. They needed someone to hate, so they hated the Israelites. They didn't want them, and then there was the premonition that the king had that the firstborn was going to rise up again. All this stuff, and so Moses happened to have been a prince of Egypt. He was found hanging out in the water after floating down the river when the Pharaoh said, "We want to kill all these babies, the boys of Egypt, because I have a dream that says that one of them is going to challenge me." So this is a great story. So Moses his parents, Jewish parents, put him on in a bamboo or on the Nile, and guess who found him? A princess of Egypt. Now, this is the story, and it's it's those minor details are filled in later. But all right, but overall, the story is accurate as portrayed in the Old Testament. The princess of Egypt got him. He grew up as a prince of Egypt, but there was something in him that was calling to him and saying, I can't abide this cruelty that the Egyptians they're making them build the pyramids, they're killing them, they're starving them. It's all wrong. And Moses got one day, he decided, I don't want to be prince. He found somebody, one of the Egyptians, beating up an Israelite, and Moses killed him. He went out, he had to run away, and then he found God. He saw God in a burning bush. He married a Jewess from another tribe, and God spoke to him and said, "Look, you're my man. I want you to go back to Egypt, and because I'm getting the Jews out of there. It's not. I can't take this anymore. By the way, we're waiting for God right now. It'll be a good time for God to help us out. I say that every service. This would be another Exodus kind of thing. And that's what happened. And Moses, then you can read in the Old Testament how Moses went before the Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh knew who he was, knew about the previous history, and he didn't kill him for that reason. Think about it. A Pharaoh would get lost, get killed. But there was this other dynamic going on, and the Pharaoh thought he was better than Moses. When who knows what went on within their consciousness, the both of them. But according to the story, eventually God helped Moses by trying to get the Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. He sent the plagues. I told you before, Pharaoh relented sort of occasionally, but didn't. And in the end, Pharaoh's all of his army, a lot of his army was destroyed when the Red Sea, or the Sea of Reeds, people dispute. The whole story it could be sacred mythology. But the idea of the Red Sea opening up, that's a little tough because it's a big sea. But there's a Sea of Reeds, a smaller area that would make sense. A smaller area in Israel. I haven't seen it, I don't know, but it's much less wide, and it could have been high, and it could have been. Did I explain that enough for you, Rebecca? Is there anything else?
That was good, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any? Hey, Lori Lighton, how are you? Anyone else have any questions? I'm pretty good at this stuff. I can help you. Would anyone like to convert to Judaism while we're here? We can make that happen. No? All right. What else? Anything else, Carla?
Nope.
All right. Thank you, Tim. I want to thank everybody who's joined us. We're gonna do.
A lot of people.
We've had a lot of people this evening. I hope you've enjoyed the Seder, but we're gonna do for
Randy Gross, do we do weddings?
We do. I'm supposed to do the Herman wedding. I'm not sure what's going on with it.
Oh gosh.
I know. Michael. Yeah.
That's Aaron. Michael's not on.
Oh, okay. Aaron. Ilu hotzi anu mi mitzray hotzi anu mi mitzray dainu 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 dainu. One more. Ilu natan lanu et hashabat. Natan lanu et hashabat dainu 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 Before I let you go, thank you so much. Before I let you go, I found a beautiful. Wow, we have so much more here. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, but I found this beautiful prayer online. written by, I don't know who it was. Somehow it found its way to me. But I just thought it would be good if we concluded on this, and it's called A Prayer for a Pandemic. And I don't know, it just seemed appropriate. So join with me. It's written by someone named Cameron Wiggins Belm. It's interesting, just an M. It might be a typo, like an OM or EM, maybe not. Belm. Anyway, let's join together. May we who are merely inconvenienced remember those whose lives are at stake. May we who have no risk factors remember those most vulnerable. May we who have the luxury of working from home remember those who must choose between preserving their health or making their rents. May we who have the flexibility to care for our children when their schools close remember those that have no options. May we who have to cancel our trips remember those who have no safe place to go. May we who are losing our margin money in the tumult of the economic market remember those who have no margin at all. May we who settle in for quarantine home remember those who have no home. As fear grips our country, let us use love during this time when we cannot physically wrap our arms around each other. Let us yet find ways to be the loving embrace of God to our neighbor. And we say,
Amen.
Amen. I thought it was beautiful. I think you're all beautiful. Dear family, kids, boyfriends of kids. Oh, you're staying on? Oh, I was going to say I love you, but I'll take it back now. So that's that, because you're staying on. Yeah, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can have them stay on. Ladies and gentlemen around the world, those of you who have joined us for our Seder, I hope you've enjoyed it. I tried to keep it light and simple. Hopefully you're all now a little bit buzzed from all the wine. And, have a safe Passover. All right, have a blessed Passover. May you and your loved ones be safe and well and come through this this horrific time in a way that's that elevates our lives when we get through it. God bless you all. I will say good night. Let's get Carol on here to say good night. Come on, Carol, say good night. Rabbi Love, everybody's here. We've had a great crew. Gee, maybe we should just do this. We might just move online all the time. It just seems to work.
It's wonderful.
All right, you guys stay. I'm going to end the stream to you, to everybody else.
Yep.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
I just have to get there. And God bless you all. All right, let me see. Off. If I just do that. Oh.